Hey folks, there were a couple of palette releases recently and they are very conveniently split into warm tones and cool neutral tones. So I figured I should just get ready over 2 days, one day warm, one day neutral cool, and just showcase how the colors and textures go on. So the two groups of products are the Pixi Eye Reflection Shadow Palettes that came out recently. They are very metallic. None of these shades are totally matte. But the more metallic one is the warm palette called Reflex Light. And you can see most of these color tones are very warm. And on the other side you have Natural Beauty, which is more of a neutral cool color scheme. So you have soft taupes, grey toned browns, just more eggshell colors that are not quite as warm leaning. The other group of products are the BECCA BFFs Collection by Khloe and Malika. Khloe's colors are very warm. Look at this beautiful cheek. This is the Bronze Blush and Glow palette. And you can see Khloe flavors very tangerine coral shades. Her lipsticks are also very warm toned. So I swatched these on my IGTV the other day, but you have this hot orange red and you have a caramel beige brown nude. So either of these would look very nice with the warm eye and cheek palettes. On the cool tone side, you have Malika's cheek palette, which is a nice split between cooler tones and warmer tones. This beautiful, gorgeous tangerine shade. It's just beautiful. And this beautiful soft, deep rose as well. So her lipsticks lean more neutral cool. So you have this very neutral soft beige nude lipstick, and this is a deep red with just slightly brick and cool tones in there. So this is the BECCA Khloe cheek palette, and alongside it is the BECCA Malika palette. Over here you have the Khloe lipsticks, a warm caramel, a red, orange, and then the Malika lipsticks, which are a soft beige nude and a deep red. So obviously today I'm going to be putting on a warm look for you guys. So I'm doing the Khloe palette, the Reflex Light palette from Pixi. Let's get started. Obviously with the Pixi palette there are no matte shades, so I can't do a matte transition color in the socket, and I'm gonna go into the BECCA Khloe palette just to use the bronzer shade here, because that's a very nice soft brown that is non-shimmery. zoom you guys out slightly so I can do my cheeks. I am gonna do very light bronzing or contouring, so I'm gonna be quite light-handed with this. I don't think this is the kind of color where you want an obvious stripe down your cheek because it would look way too brown. So just a little warmth to enhance the contours a little, but not anything too obvious. And that's it for the warmer toned half of this try on and review. I have to say I really love the Hot Tamale lipstick. This is such a beautiful orange red, and I also really love the Bronze Blush and Glow palette by Khloe. But one only criticism for this one is that I probably would not have needed this shade in there. This looks like a combination of the highlight and the blush together, so they could have taken this out and put in a color that was just slightly different. I really don't see a point in layering all three when you can get the exact same look just layering these two. But otherwise, I mean, the quality is beautiful, pigmentation level is really good compared to the BECCA Be a Light palette, which I didn't really like. I very much prefer this one. So anyway, now that this part is done, I'm gonna fast forward you to the cool neutral look in 3, 2, 1. Alright everybody, this is day 2 and I'm getting ready to use the other half of these two collections, the Natural Beauty palette as well as the Malika Cheek palette from BECCA. So let's get down to it. So it isn't that you can't use this bronzer shade if you have very light skin. You just need to be very light-handed with it because the amount of pigment in here is just going to make you look very made up very fast. That's all. I'm gonna go in with the pink blush, obviously, because I already tried the orange blushes in the Khloe palette yesterday. So I don't want to do a cooler toned look today. Also using very light hand because this is pretty strong. I'm going to keep it around the peaks of my cheekbones and not go too far in like I did with the coral shades from the Khloe palette yesterday, because I just want a very high placed flush today. Also, keeping these shimmery blushes high on the peaks of your cheekbones tends not to emphasize pores around the inner cheek area. This is such a beautiful shade, and I'm just hoping that it's not going to be too deep for me. It looks like a gloss on top of the skin. The one place that I do encourage using this if you have lighter skin is around the nose and all that, because this is a slightly softer shade. It's not as pale and not as blinding as the champagne shade in the Khloe palette. So here are the two highlight shades. This is the one from the Khloe palette and this is the one from the Malika palette. It is still light enough for my sort of medium light skin, and it works nicely just as a very subtle gloss over the skin. It won't look as dramatic as the Khloe one. This is a very nice color, just to give a bit of dewiness or a bit of a glow along high points of your face, and it won't look too crazy if you put it on the bridge of your nose, the tip of your nose, on top of your lips, etc. I don't like the very pale, very metallic strip right down the middle. It looks nice for photography, but in real life it can look a little bit too drag. As with yesterday, I'm going to lip swatch both of the Malika lipsticks just to let you guys see how they both look. The nude shade is called Yours Truly, and this is a neutral shade. It's a soft beige, so pretty much a true nude. Guys, I really like this nude. It's like a honey-toned nude. There's a little bit of a peach warmth in there, and it really does bring out that very bronzed sun bunny kind of a look if you wear this with smoky eyes and very glowy cheeks. Of course, I'm going to be moving on to try the deep red, and we'll just see how it goes, but I may go out today wearing this lip shade. Now that I have this on, I kind of want to keep this on. Girl problems. Okay, back to the sun bunny look. The last thing I'm going to try, which I did not try yesterday, is the Sweethearts Glow Letters. So these are the loose pearls in two shades that you can wear as an all-over bronze, sort of a glow or dusting powder. I'm going to just try my best to swirl it in there and get both shades. And I finger swatched these the other day, and they're not intensely pigmented, so you probably need to load up your brush slightly more. I think it's pretty minimal. Not seeing too much of a difference, to be honest. This is not my favorite thing. I would just say go with the palettes. If you really want bronze glow and some shimmer, you can always dip your brush in here and here, which is what I'm going to do today. Ooh, collarbones on fleek. Definitely suggest using the cheek palettes for a body glow because this is just beautiful. Oh, my body looks like it's molded out of liquid metal. Okay, final thoughts. The Pixi Eye Reflection Shadow Palettes, I really like the colors. The only issue is that these do not come with mattes. So if you prefer to apply mattes around the socket and the lash line, you may need to supplement these with existing palettes or shadows that you already own. So this would not necessarily give you a complete look. But if you're looking for very nice metallic colors to add to your collection, to sort of expand the colors that you have, I would say I prefer the Reflex Light palette, the warmer one, because it just has a little bit more variation in the shades that you get. So these are all very different from one another, whereas if you look at the Natural Beauty palette, a lot of the blush taupes and then the soft browns kind of look like one another. These two look very similar. These two give a similar effect on the eyes as well, and so do these soft taupes here. They look kind of similar. So you really will not get as much variety with the Natural Beauty palette as you would with the Reflex Light palette. Of course, if you personally prefer cooler toned makeup and you just want a very, very basic neutral eye palette that can take you from Monday to Friday, then this is a very good basic one. This is, and I mean basic as in if you do not already own other neutral palettes. This is quite a nice one for beginners to start out with, I would say, because the colors are very soft, they are very blendable, they are buildable, but the pigmentation level is not extremely high. So while that may sound like a bad thing for some of you, what I mean is just that you will not go on with too much color and then have difficulty blending it out. It will not look patchy, they layer beautifully, they blend into each other seamlessly. You may not get very dramatic looks out of these because even the deep shades are quite soft, and I had to go in quite a few times just to build up a little bit of smokiness. But again, this is what makes it a good palette for beginners. If you're not sure about blending, or you tend to be a little bit heavy-handed and you need to look polished and not too OTT, you know, for school or work, this is quite a good investment to start out with. As for the BECCA BFFs collection by Khloe and Malika, good job, guys. I really love most of the colors in the collection. Of course, I wore the Khloe palette yesterday and I do love the colors, but I find the entire palette a little bit too gold toned. If I compare it to the Malika palette, this gives me options for both warm tone looks, cooler tone looks, and if I mix both of these, I get a sort of coral neutral shade that I can wear with pretty much anything. And with the Khloe palette, no matter how you mix these three, you will end up with roughly the same type of color. In fact, if I were to remove this one shade here, you would be able to get the exact same effect using these two together. If you had to pick just one, I would go with the Malika palette just because it gives you more color options. This can work on lighter skins if you use a light hand, and this also looks very beautiful as a very soft, very skin enhancing glow. It may not look like a blinding stripe of highlight on your face, but that is what is so nice about it at the same time. With the Khloe palette, I would say if you have very deep skin tone, this may not give you as much bang for your buck, because these two shades would just come off as sort of a peachy gold, yellow gold highlight on you. This would just be very pale. It is very metallic. If you want bling, this will give you that. The bronzer would do nothing for deeper skin tones. In comparison, this one would suit a bigger range of skin tones. As for the Sweethearts Glow Letters, I would give this a pass unless you're a collector. I mean, it's kind of cute, but at the same time, for the price, this is kind of like a cheap paper cardboard box. I've seen very similar packaging from brands like The Body Shop, and they cost a fraction of the price, so this is a pass for me personally. As a body glow product, it really didn't give off enough of a glow or sheen or color to really justify the amount of time and effort you would need to swirl your brush and pick up pigmentation with these. I would just grab one of the palettes and just go in with a big brush and just, you know, go ham on your body. It looks so beautiful, look at it. The highlight mixed with the bronzer would give you, you know, what this should be. and just the highlight alone will add beautiful glimmer on your bone structures. So this is where it's at. As for the lipsticks, I mean, lipsticks are lipsticks. Go with personal preference, and two, just check out the undertones. For the look today, because I have glimmering neutral brown eyes, and because the intensity of this cheek palette is kind of making me look sun-kissed, you know, the red or pink on the cheeks and then the deep bronze. The honey beige nude sort of finishes the look very nicely for me, but on other days, if I'm wearing just a winged liner and a little bit of a pink blush, I may very well go with the deep red lipstick called Brave. When it comes to the red lipsticks, I do find the Khloe shade Hot Tamale a little bit more interesting, and I would definitely wear this one again soon. The red by Malika, Brave, is beautiful, but I find it very much more dupable, a little bit easier to find substitutes for. So that is it for my 2-day wear test demo first impressions review of these two collections from Pixi and BECCA. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up below, and I will see you soon. Bye!